Hey guys, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. Got a great question today from one of my visitors to the channel who was asking how, and the topic of this particular video is how many strides should you do in each week in your training? And his question was definitely a great one. He said, how many strides after an easy recovery run can you get away with without compromising recovery? Like I hear 3 strides all the time, but if you're not running 6 or 7 days a week, can you get away with, say, double that just to get some leg speed in where you can? So yeah, you can definitely do more than 3 strides per week after each particular easy run, Eric. 3 strides really is far less than I would recommend. I would usually do between 6 and 7 strides. And again, strides are too fast or too short to really build up any lactic acid buildup. So you can still do your easy runs and then do those strides either pre-run or during the run or after the run. It just depends on your preference. Over the years, I've incorporated strides into my own routine, but usually on easy days, I would usually do between anywhere from 5 to 7 reps. Usually after my runs, but sometimes I would do them prior to, just to get my legs warmed up. But I think that, just doing, if you're only running, say, like four times a week, and you're only doing 1 easy run during those 4 days, then yeah, you can do, say 10 reps. But just remember that the strides themselves, shouldn't be any further really than 100 meters, 150 meters at the longest, but usually between 50 and 100 meters in length. And you want to make sure that you're just gradually speeding up, and really it shouldn't be an all-out effort until around the last 20 meters of those particular strides. What strides do is you got to think about it in a long-term sense. So strides, when you think about it, you're running at sprint speeds. So over a long period of time, you're spending time running at paces that are even faster than, say, your mile race pace. So you're really working on that leg turnover. Obviously strides really help on focusing on your form, lifting your legs, pumping your arms. And again, they're too short to build up any really legitimate amounts of lactic acid buildup. So you can still do higher volume of reps of strides during those easy days, but just make sure, like I talk about in other videos, make sure you're paying attention to jogging on recovery days. I say that, and I continue to reiterate it, because when I've trained with world-class marathoners, world-class milers, athletes that can run under 4 minutes for the mile, athletes that could run under 2 hours and 10 minutes for the marathon, and these athletes taught me the importance of how critical training recovery is. We all get so caught up in how fast we're running on easy days and what per K pace we're running, or what mile pace is, or what mile pace per mile we were running on those easy days. You should get beyond thinking about pace on easy days. Really just focus on recovery, making sure that you're taking it easy, hydrating well, because you want to be able to go back to the track and get back on the roads and be able to attack those hard, K repetitions, or repeat 2 miles on the track, or repeat 800s on the roads. You want to be able to attack those hard anaerobic efforts. And the only way to do that is if you back off and allow time to recover from those hard anaerobic workouts. So in terms of strides, though, strides are dangerous, I'm telling you, because over a long period of time, if you're doing those on a routine basis, and you're spending time running at basically more so around your 400 to 800 meter race pace, then how effective are you going to be? Think about it, over a long period of time, over like a 4-month block of training, doing strides at those types of paces, and you're doing it on top of your training. And again, because they're so short, you can still get away with doing these types of it's a VO2 max type workout, but it's too short to really build up any lactic acid, as compared to a VO2 max workout where you're out on the track and you're doing, like, say, repeat 300s or repeat 600s, where you're really going into oxygen debt. It's much more difficult to do those types of VO2 max workouts. Whereas with strides, they're so short that you're picking up pace, but you're also, and you're really, focusing on leg turnover and really working on acceleration, which will really make you effective regardless if you're training for the middle distance events or you're training for the, longer races where 10K up to the marathon. Strides can really make you dangerous over a long period of time if you're consistent and you're doing it effectively and doing it enough. It's very easy to skimp on this. It's very easy to say, I did my easy run. I'm really not really going to focus on the strides today. At the end of the day, you're really only as good as your last workout and your last race. You need to focus on being consistent in all avenues of your preparation. You don't want to just focus on doing, track workouts and road sessions. You have to do the other little details, and strides is one of those, definitely those details that are going to make you dangerous as compared to your competition. You always want to keep thinking about, okay, what do I need to do to be as effective as I possibly can over the middle to long distance events? And regardless if you're training for the 400-meter event or you're training for the marathon, strides are critical. You want to always want to focus on leg speed, developing your, working on your form, being as relaxed as you can, at maximum efforts. But again, because strides are so short, you're only going to be at maximum effort for about 20 meters of that 100-meter sprint. So you just want to gradually speed up until you're in an all-out sprint the last 20 meters of that stride. So you can do definitely more than 3 strides, especially if you're only running, say, 3 to 4 times a week, and you only have time for maybe one easy run, maybe a long run, and a moderate effort run during the week, maybe like a tempo run. So, and the rest of the week you want to focus on recovery. You want to focus on, if you're only run 3 or 4 days a week, then on those other days, make sure you're stretching, make sure you're hydrating well. Again, it's the little details that add up. So, big mistake that most athletes make, and I've made it too over the years too, is we focus so much on volume. We focus on how many miles a week we're running, how many kilometers a week we're running. It's not about that. It's, at the end of the day, it's about working smarter than your competition, using leverage, not working, not thinking that you have to work hard to get great results. Yes, you're definitely going to have to work hard, but over a long period of time, the smarter you are in your training and how you set up your training, that's going to make the biggest impact on your overall race results when it comes down to the, race day when you have to be on. Again, I stress this in all the other videos. Let the other athletes around you, let them be stressed out. Let them, be overly concerned. Make sure that you're doing everything in training, including strides, so that when you go into the race, you have no reason to be overly nervous and stressed out. It's okay to have some kind of, a little bit of nerves the morning of the race. That's totally normal. But at the same time, have a good time. Make sure that the training itself should be the most difficult, stressful, part of your preparation. That way you can go to the race and know that there's nothing your competition will try to throw at you in the race, whether that's a stride you're 5 miles into a 10-mile race and they throw in this really hard stride or in this really hard sprint right in the middle of the race. I've done that several times too, just to see what the competition is doing. You can break somebody and going up a hill, really picking up the pace for like 300 meters of that portion of the hill, and then settle back into your pace. So making those mistakes in training or really pushing yourself hard in training will really help you when it comes to race day, when you've made the mistakes, or you've not only made mistakes, but you've really done your homework in training as well. You've really pushed yourself anaerobically. You've done strides consistently and a sufficient amount of strides over a long period of time, that when it comes to race day, you're going to be 100% prepared. You're going to be motivated, driven, and ready to get to the finish line in record time. So Eric, I hope that answers your question, man. Yeah, you definitely can do more than 3 strides, especially if you're not running more than a few times per week. If you're running, say, 6 to 7 times a week, you can do 3 to 5 strides after an easy run, no problem. But again, you can even do more strides during easy days, because again, it's not a hard VO2 max or a long tempo run. It's really short burst of sprint speed, but again, you're thinking long term. You're training at sprint paces. So over a 16-week, 4-month block of training, you're really spending miles at sprint paces, and that's a good way to look at it. And you're doing that on top of your training. So I hope this answers your question, Eric. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, whether it's strides, whether it's your race preparation, mental training, motivation, anything else I can help you all out with, definitely let me know. And I'm definitely here for you guys. Leave me comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Always helps to, the channel grow. If there's anything else I can do for you all, I'm here for you. So I wish you all the best. Continued success to you, Eric, as well. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.